Hello, I'm Congressman Gus Bilirakis. Thank you for caring about an issue that touches the lives of so many Americans, including my own, the fight against Alzheimer's disease and related dementias. Alzheimer's is a cruel and devastating illness. It robs individuals of their memories, their independence, and their sense of self. And it leaves loved ones with the heartbreak of watching someone they care about slowly fade away, unfortunately. My family has lived through this. For more than a decade, we've experienced the painful daily reality of what Alzheimer's can do. So when I talk about the need for action, I'm not speaking as a policymaker alone. I'm speaking as a son. I'm speaking for millions of Americans who are walking the same road. But I'm also here today to share something else, hope. We are making real progress in the fight against Alzheimer's, thanks in large part to the federally funded biomedical research. These investments are leading to breakthroughs in how we understand, detect, and treat this disease. It's a horrible disease. And that progress is starting to pay off in ways that matter. New treatment options are emerging, and for the first time, we've seen medications that can slow the progression of Alzheimer's, especially when the disease is caught early. That's a critical shift because, as we know, that early detection, diagnosis, and intervention offer the best chances at preserving a quality of life, and that's so very important. But knowing what works isn't enough. We need policies that put those tools in action. That's why I introduced the Change Act, that concentrating on high-value Alzheimer's needs to get to an end act, the Change Act. This bipartisan legislation is built on a simple but powerful idea. If we catch Alzheimer's early, we can treat it more effectively, support families more meaningfully, and reduce the long-term burden on our healthcare system, which is so very important. The Change Act would strengthen the tools available through Medicare to ensure early assessment and diagnosis, require the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, CMS, to develop a uniform, reliable screening tool for cognitive impairment. And it would incentivize healthcare providers to prioritize early detection, that's the key, so that no patient falls through the cracks simply because their symptoms weren't recognized in time. With as many as 13.8 million Americans aged 65 and older expected to be diagnosed by 2060, the time for action is now. We can't afford to wait until the disease takes hold. We need to meet it at the door and stop it before it steals more time, more memories, and more lives. The Change Act would open the door for millions of patients to access the treatments that work best in the early stages of Alzheimer's. It would empower caregivers with the tools they need, and it's such a burden on them, but we would empower them with the tools they need, and it would bring our healthcare system in line with the science the science is really advancing every day. This is what common sense policy looks like. This is how we protect serious, of